afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my show. My name is Wyatt Bills, and I am here with some of my fantastic friends to discuss all things new and old in pop culture media. Here to help me out today is all of my friends here, so please go around and introduce yourself, guys.
So, I'm Michael Dorn. Do you want me to say my major?
Yeah, tell us your major and your favorite nerdy thing.
My major is mass communications with an emphasis in integrated media. And right now, my favorite nerdy thing is probably, let's go with Mario Party.
It's a good, solid nerdy thing. Andrew, how about yourself?
All right, my name's Andrew Walker, and I guess my major is graphics design. Yeah. And, of course, my nerdiest thing I like to do is I like creating maps on Unity on the computer.
There you go. And Bethany, how about you?
I'm Bethany Gase. My major is tourism and hospitality management. And my most nerdy thing right now is probably just playing lots of games on the Xbox.
Awesome. I can get behind that. So let's get right down to it. First off, we're going to talk about video games. And I'm going to give each of you about 3 to 4 minutes to talk about whatever you like, video game related. Starting with Michael and my other awesome friends. Feel free to add into the conversation as you please, but Michael, what do you got for me?
Well, since I set up that excellent segue into Mario Party, I think I'll go ahead and use it. So, I'm playing the new Mario Party that came out, and let me tell you, it's so great about everything it does. It is a friendship destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
It,
I can agree.
It makes you just feel so happy when you win and so crushed when you lose.
I can feel that.
I think we have a couple people here who can vouch for what I'm saying.
The depths of pain that Mario Party can cause is just irreparable.
It really is.
It's so basically, if you're completely new to the concept of Mario Party, it's a board game in which you play as 4 different Nintendo characters, and you go around the board and try and screw each other over as quickly as possible in effort to get a star, and the one with the most stars at the end of the game wins.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you play like mini games and stuff, which are like easily the best part of that game, bar none, because it's just fun to mess people up, and there's so much stuff you can do to mess up your friends and make them hate you. And
Yep, I already hate you, Michael.
I noticed. But as you can tell, some of these people here have already played it, and I think it's never going to leave them. It's a part of you that never truly goes. The pain really never goes away, you know.
It's eating my soul.
Yes.
So tell us about your favorite minigame.
My favorite minigame? It's the one where you cook. You use motion controls, which are the way of the future to cook. You cook all 6 sides of the cube.
You cook a 6-sided cube of meat. Yes, a cube of meat on a digital skillet, and you wave your controller in the air to flip it on all 6 sides to cook them evenly, and the first one to do so wins. Yeah. So
Shy Guy's the best character.
all right. So that's Michael's 3 to 4 minutes about Mario Party. So now on to Bethany. What do you got for us?
Let's talk about Fortnite, right? No. No, let's not.
Disgusting.
No. No, Rainbow Six Siege is good. Some good stuff. Yeah.
All right. So what about Rainbow makes it so fantastic? Elaborate here.
You can shoot people.
That's a
It's
good
like-
quality to have.
Alright, since I'll give her a moment to like kind of unpack what she has to say, I'll kind of take over. So Rainbow Six, for those who don't know, is like a game where you're basically playing 2 teams, like attack and defense, and you're guarding specific locations, like either a hostage or like a bomb. It kind of differs. So, and you have like these things called operators, which are different, like people with different like sets of skills that you can use to either infiltrate or defend
Ashes Bay.
the flames. And it's like really, it's like a destructible environment. So like if you shoot a hole through a wall, like that hole's going to remain there for the rest of the game. So you can like if you see someone through that hole, you can get them through that, which is kind of what makes it so unique.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite aspect of it, Bethany? You got one right off the top of your head?
Yep, shooting people.
There you go. That's a
Get your
common,
anger out.
right? It's
Yeah.
a good
Just like
stress reliever.
GTA. Get your anger out by punching random people in GTA too.
There you go. There you go. I feel you. You know, sometimes you just need to feel like you can just take on the world, and Rainbow Six is a good way to do that.
And it's great to get an ace. I haven't gotten that yet.
Don't
But
worry,
I've got
neither
a
have I.
4K or a 4 kill. Yeah.
Okay, so an ace is when you're left with one operative and you take down the entire enemy team. Is that,
No,
is
it's
that
just-
right?
you
it's just
kill
one
five.
person
You
kills
just kill
everybody.
everyone.
I
on the
got,
other team.
I gotcha.
Like it exists in like CS:GO and all this other stuff. Like any game you can
Yeah,
get ace
in
in.
game, but yeah.
It's a team kill basically.
I
Not
mean,
super close.
what's also nice about Siege though is the fact that it follows like holidays and stuff like that. So right now it's on a Halloween event where you're able to pretty much get costumes and stuff. Like there's the nun from the new horror movie.
Can you dress up as Jack Skellington?
Actually, no, but they have something close, which is it's a scarecrow right now, and it's just a
Mhm.
leather mask with the exact same smile for one of the operators, and it's pretty cool.
Right on. Anything else about Rainbow you want to chime in with?
I would say that like the thing that makes Rainbow Six Siege like special is just because like it's a sandbox for you to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Like you can shoot a dude through a wall, you can put grenades through a wall and kill everyone, including the hostage, every single time.
That's the best part.
That's a lot of stuff involving walls. I'll have
Yep.
to say, yeah.
You can rappel down them, you can rappel up them, you,
You know.
can go upside
You
down,
go through them.
you can go through them.
I
a lot of
sen-
people
I
do
sen-
that.
I sense a lot of the walls, but what about the roof? Are we forgetting about the roof?
There's a couple roof things. I mean, you can go through them kind of
Gotcha.
if you're cool enough.
Alrighty,
You
so
rack up enough cool points.
Andrew, how about you? What's on your mind?
Ooh, so I'm mostly looking forward to some of the new games coming out and stuff. I'm excited for the remaster of Spyro, the dragon game. Oh, I'm so happy for that.
yes.
That was my childhood right there.
Super excited.
But what I'm also looking forward to is I'm a huge Fallout fan, so I'm kind of looking forward to like
You're
the
looking
new,
forward to the country roads.
yeah, the country roads. You know, I gotta look into the online game of Fallout. I'm gonna see if it's actually worth it. And if not, then
That game looks like it could go either way, though. It
Oh,
could
yeah.
either be really good or really bad, and I'm hoping it's good. But
I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah.
Or else it's a waste of money. But Call of Duty Black Ops 4, that's something we're getting this weekend because I've been a Call of Duty fan ever since World at War. So I think I'm going to look into that as well.
Right on. Do you tend to purchase Call of Duties every year?
No,
No.
there's some trash Call of Duty. Like I started changing my mind on Call of Duty after Call of Duty Ghost came out.
Yeah.
That one kind of broke it.
I'm gonna be real. I haven't purchased the Call of Duty like anywhere close to its release date since Modern Warfare 2.
It's not worth it if you did purchase anymore because it's literally just rinse and repeat through the games.
Yep.
They just give you new abilities throughout the games.
Yeah, and that was like my biggest turnoff to it. You know, I respect people that like are really hardcore like into it. You know, if it's your thing, it's your thing. But
I don't
It's just
know.
not for
I
you.
don't know how, like, who gave them the ability to jump 10 feet in the air.
That was
I-
a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know why they let him do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they let him do it like 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got to use that super jump. You know, you got to turn everyone into Super
Yeah,
Mario.
but it turns everyone into like bunnies, and you can't kill anybody.
Who doesn't want to be a bunny though? I mean, that's kind of cool, right?
I mean, a lot of people, I guess, because of the E3 showcase for Black Ops 4, they actually were praising the developers for putting boots back on the ground without being able to jump. Everybody was excited for that. That was their biggest announcement for the game.
It's kind of sad.
Big announcement. We're taking away features that we previously put into the game.
What do you think
Yeah,
about
everybody
the?
loved it.
What do you think about the battle royale thing?
Battle Royale, like I was saying, I haven't played it yet, but I've played a few Battle Royale, like, of course, Nasty Fortnite, or
And PUBG.
PUBG, which I recommend a lot more than Fortnite, because it's not as childish, and it's a lot more complicated. But I'm not a big Battle Royale person, but I will most likely try it out at least.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys. That's all the time we got for video games. Rest assured, we got plenty more to talk about when it comes to the next topic, which is movies. So we'll go around the room in the same order. Starting with Michael, is there any movies you'd like to talk
I
about?
think like the most recent movie I saw was Venom. So we'll talk about that.
Venom's Bay.
I didn't like it a lot. Like I know a lot of people like really liked it, but I was just like I thought it was pretty meh. I didn't think it was bad, but it just was like
They could have added a lot more to
Yeah.
it, like action and stuff like that. It seemed really bland at the beginning.
yeah.
I enjoyed it personally.
Because I didn't think like it
Tom
needed-
Hardy gets me Hardy.
No.
Stop.
That's my saying. What are you
Alright.
doing?
Anyway, I don't think like the movie needed like the first 45 minutes or whatever of him like moping around. It felt like really pointless.
It was a little too
Okay.
much impression.
Yeah.
I will say, if it was Tom Hardy by himself, that movie would have been awful. But like Venom, once Venom is introduced and he like starts picking on Tom Hardy like pretty hard, it makes the movie a lot better. The dynamic between those two is really entertaining.
I think it was just interesting seeing Tom Hardy do a movie like that where he's more of like the good guy of the situation. Most movies that I see him in, he's either the villain like Bane in Batman or, playing Mad Max, he's always the quiet one where he was going around, being pretty cool and stuff in that movie. But this one was different. He was more of a, Spider-Man figure where he was a journalist going around
Yeah.
and then getting infected.
They really went with like the anti-hero aspect of it, which was the entire point of the movie.
I have a bone to pick with that.
But
yeah,
because
they do.
they really didn't. Because Venom's like, I'm a good guy now at the end of the movie.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm a good guy now. And like, yeah, I guess you need your characters to do something and you gotta wrap it up, but like I'd argue like the anti-hero thing is really not a part of it, just because he's like, let's go save the world, because I guess we can.
Well, I mean, like, when you look through, like, the actual movie and stuff, at the very end, it's introducing, who was it? It was, Carnage. They introduced Carnage at the very end.
Woody Harrelson, boys, he's the man.
And, they, were mentioning him and everything. So what I'm thinking is how they're making him more of a hero, Venom a hero, is because they have to make movies after that one. If they make him go against Spider-Man, doesn't make sense, or else it interrupts the, the Marvel, Avengers and stuff like that.
The whole time I
Kinda
was
just
watching
right
that movie, though, I was like, this movie would be so much better if it had Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, that's
It would
funny.
have.
It really would have. That would have been, I think, but like, I know that's not what the movie is, and it's really unfair to judge it like that, but I was just thinking that the entire time. Like, this movie probably would have been a lot better with Spider-Man in it.
You can see that.
Yeah, I feel you. I still enjoyed the movie though.
Yep,
I
same.
think it was,
Again, I didn't hate it.
I'd
had
give it an
pretty good
8.5 if I
My
had
tongue,
to
though.
give it a number. Yeah, let's throw one out for the tongue, actually. Yeah. All right, so that's all from Michael when it comes to movies. So, Bethany, you're up next. Anything you want to throw in?
Well, since it's like October Halloween time, I still need to go watch Halloween. I don't know. I really want to see it because Halloween.
I've heard
Michael Myers.
Hey, my
Hey.
name's Michael.
I've heard mixed reviews about that so far.
Yeah, same.
Okay, disclaimer. Can't do scary movies at all. Like, I will run out of the movie theater.
It's true, he can't.
Yeah, I really can't. I can do.
Well, let's go, Michael. I
Yeah.
want to see you run out the movie theater.
I'll pass.
Let's go.
Thanks. Like I can do stuff that like messes with your head, But as soon as there's like any sort of jump scare, anything like that, out of there. See ya.
Well, I'm gonna take you to go see Halloween now.
Wyatt, the only
that's
way
that's
to
a no.
get rid of your fears is to face them.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
just
a
like-
haunted house on Saturday.
It's a
so
corn
that's
maze, first of
so
all.
that's so that's a step in the right direction. It's an environment where spooky stuff happens, and so
Yes, but it is
I
not
mean,
a house.
it could be.
Cooler.
Put a dome over that, and there you go. Right on. So what makes you excited to go see this new movie?
Well, I'm a big fan of Halloween movies, like horror movies, and I really want them to bring back like the slasher movies. So hopefully it's good, so they can bring them back. You know.
Yeah. I'm not like I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect like too much out of it, but just like it's a Halloween movie. It's like
It's good for Halloween.
it's
time.
Halloween movie during Halloween. It's a good scare. It's like a good thing
Yeah.
to go get scared. It's,
Yep.
Like I think
Just like
it doesn't need
Quiet
to
in
be
the Corn
good.
Maze.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. I don't think that movie needs to be like a filmmaking masterpiece. It just needs to be like, does it have slasher stuff in it?
I mean, and it'll sell regardless just because of the branding. So
And
even if it's a
spooky
bad movie,
it's a spooky movie during Halloween, and it's like, I don't know how many there are. I think that might be like the only one out right now.
There's Goosebumps too.
Oh, excuse me.
terrible, terrifying.
There-
Oh boy.
I see there's some competition in the scary movie market. I apologize.
Jack Black, guys. Jack Black is good.
Okay, Jack Black is the man. Like
Yeah,
he can be
honestly.
shoehorned into any movie and make it better. You know, fight
Yeah.
me. I'll say that right now. Yeah. So, that's all for your time there, Bethany. How about you, Andrew? What do you got?
When I'm like looking to more modern movies and stuff, I can't really find anything I'm too interested in. You know,
Okay.
like coming from 2018 and everything. But I did enjoy Venom. I am looking forward to a couple Halloween movies coming out. But like, what was it? Like The Nun from The Conjuring
Right.
season or series. It just wasn't, worth it. It was not scary. It was just jump scares. That's it.
Yeah, that's also a hard pass from me. Thanks.
But yeah, like when it comes to movies, though, it's usually more of like the action-packed, throwing a little bit of drama, throw everybody to where all this
Popcorn
crazy
movies.
stuff goes. Yeah,
Yeah. You want something to just kind of shut your brain off and let explosions happen, right?
like Batman: The Dark Knight
Yeah,
and stuff like
mhm.
that. Before they brought what's his face into the deal for Batman versus Superman, that's not worth it.
Let's see, was that Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Okay, Batman versus Superman was awful.
It was.
I never watched it because I heard it was so bad. And plus,
Oh.
I'm
I
not a
skipped
fan
through
of
it.
Ben Affleck personally.
I
so.
skipped through it for the fighting scene.
Yeah, sounds like something I would do.
Well, even that fighting scene was the plot twist was probably one of the worst plot twists I've seen in a long time.
Honestly.
If you could even call it a plot twist.
That whole universe is
Ooh.
really shaky. Though.
DC, yeah.
Their
I'm
movie. Like they don't have like really any great movies to kind of like look towards. Like they don't have their Avengers. They don't have their like movies you can look towards and be like these movies are great. Like that's kind of where they're struggling with. That's
Well,
I you know what I'm gonna say it. I don't think Aquaman's gonna be the one to redeem that
Aquaman.
entire universe.
exactly. Like what he's
The
gonna
actor.
whistle to a whale and boom, movies. Their
He's just
universe
hot,
is
okay.
just saved. DC is
Yeah.
just saved.
You're just in it for Jason Momoa.
Hate-
Yes,
Let's
hate to
face
honestly,
say it.
I'm just in it for him.
Hate to say it, I don't think Aquaman's gonna be the
Oh.
one to
I'm just in
redeem
it for
that
the
entire
actor.
the entire
Jason
like
Momoa.
how many movies do they have? Like they have
Quite
a
a
couple.
few,
Yeah.
and the Justice League didn't even go out anywhere. Like the only
That's-
movie I actually
yeah.
somewhat enjoyed was what was it? I can't even think right now. Forgot the name of it. It's with what's her face is like Wonder Woman.
Oh, Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder Woman's good.
I thought that was a good movie, especially since she did the entire movie while pregnant. Like
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
she
pretty
did.
impressive.
yeah, she was
She
pregnant
did.
while
What
she
a
was
what a
doing the
trooper!
movie.
Like I have a little bit
Honestly,
more
though-
respect for that movie now.
Yeah. But like yeah, that
She's badass, man.
it's very like that movie that whole like movie universe is like it doesn't really have anything to point to be like this is like a great movie that like stands on its own. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of just like finding its own way, and it's kind of feels like it's a little too late. So
DC needs to just stop when it
Yeah.
comes to like DC versus Marvels because Marvels went skyrocket. They made a
they
bunch
made
of
theirs at like
movies.
the perfect time, and and they're like kind of wrapping it up. Now, I
'Cause-
feel.
Marvel set the bar extremely early when
absolutely.
it comes to like cinematic universes. When the first Avengers came out, that was like the first mega like several franchise movie combined into
Yeah.
one.
Because like,
Like-
nothing like that has ever been done.
Like regardless of genre, regardless of anything, it was the first movie in which you take iconic characters from several franchises, throw them together, and see what happens.
I heard like someone say, and I kind of agree with this. This is the Avengers was like this generation's Star Wars.
I can, yeah,
Yeah,
Which
I
I
can see
agree
that.
with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
yeah. Although, I will say that the second Avengers movie was subpar at best. I didn't really like, as far as Marvel movie standards, the second Avengers was mediocre.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I guess I'm in boat alone on that one.
Like, I didn't think it was like
But,
no,
you know.
like it didn't match. Yeah, I think you're right. Like it didn't match what people were probably expecting
Right.
from it, and in a lot of regards, you could probably get away with saying it was disappointing. But even so, I still like enjoyed it. Like I thought he was a cool villain, and you get to spend a lot of time with him. The second one, Ultron, that's his name. You couldn't remember.
There you go.
Yeah, I almost couldn't remember it. I was like, what's his name? But yeah. Yeah, it's just like DC's kind of playing catch up, and it's not gonna work out.
Yeah,
for them.
they started a little late,
They did.
which is sad because I love DC. I'm a huge Batman guy,
Oh yeah.
but I
yeah.
mean, you know, it
'Cause
is
it's
it is what it is.
I mean, what ruined DC quite a bit for me was Suicide Squad. I was disappointed in that movie. Like,
It was mediocre.
They cut
Yeah,
out
it was
all the
okay.
scenes that the Joker were supposed to be. They
Right.
cut everything out, and then when bad things happen to the Joker, you're like, how did that even happen? Where did that come from? You had no idea what was going on.
That's what happens when you try and make your movies PG-13.
Yeah,
So-
It's true.
it's like I understand making your movies like accessible, but like I think Deadpool's like the perfect
Oh,
example
Deadpool's
of like,
wonderful.
how your
Deadpool,
movie can like succeed, because it's like tell a story, like do the movie you want to make, and don't worry about the ratings, because like, and I'm surprised like movies still like, because I don't think you can argue Venom would have been like so much better if it was rated R.
Honestly,
Oh
though,
yeah, if they put more
Yep.
violence
Oh, yeah.
into it
Yep.
and stuff.
Venom would have been like so much better if it was rated R, and they just didn't want to do it because they want to retain that audience, which is like, yeah, but still make the movie that you want to make. And I get that Deadpool's kind of a special case, and it's not always going to work out for everybody.
Yeah.
But I still think people should try it.
Plus, I mean, Deadpool, his character is made to break the fourth wall, like in
Yeah.
his games, in the comic book, everything. So it's perfect for that movie as well, because they just break the fourth wall with the movie, and I think it just makes everything 10 times better, more hilarious, and I want to watch it again, because, you know, it goes out to the audience as well as the movie itself.
And that comes from the character. Like, if you ever read the Deadpool comics, they do that all the time. They'll have, like, entire panels dedicated to just, like, directly talking to the reader from Deadpool's perspective. And it's
Exactly.
great. Yeah.
And there's a lot of satire in it, too, which
Mhm.
makes it even better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the summary is make more rated R movies,
Honestly, though,
Yes.
do it.
because it, like, I know it's probably not going to work out for like
Yeah.
every time they do it, but like, you got to shoot your shot.
Okay.
You know.
Here's my thing. If you're going to make a movie targeted toward teenagers, make it targeted toward teenagers
Rated R.
and go into making your movie with that in mind.
Yeah.
If you want it to appeal to everybody, that isn't a very good way to make any sort of content, because if you target everybody, you're likely to reach no one.
Yeah, that's where you
Mm.
go into like the rated PG movies, and then you have to hide the adult type of jokes into it.
Right.
Like a lot of cartoons do that and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. So I'd say, you know, obviously I'm not a movie maker, but just like in the realm of mass comm, you know, your target audience is just about everything when it comes to, you know, creating ideas and stuff. But anyway, that's the last little section we got for movies. So to wrap it up, we got a section dedicated to like nerdy news related things. So like anything that you heard of recently that you can think of and talk about. Go ahead and start with that. Michael, do you have anything?
I know this is kind of old news, but should we throw our hats in on the loot box controversy?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That could go on for hours. But yeah, that's a good conversation. I mean, it's still going on in
Yeah.
a way.
It's Well, since I set it up, it'd be kind of rude if I don't explain it. So, like, for those of you who don't know, it's loot boxes are things you buy in games, and you basically have, like, not all of these games, like, you can pay real money to get these boxes, but most of them allow you to do it through the game. It's just a lot slower, so it makes you more encouraged to actually buy them with money.
It's holding off content behind a massive like play wall is what they would call it, and meaning that you have to play something for a large amount of hours in order to get the content that you wanted. Say if I wanted a certain skin or like a certain character in a game, if you're gonna require me to like play 300 hours of that game to get what I want versus paying for it, most people would pay for it. And that's also like ties into the realm of gambling because it's randomized, and that's where the controversy.
Yeah,
comes from.
the argument is it's like a huge argument whether it's gambling or not. Some people say it is because it's entirely randomized and you can pay real money for it, and other people say it's not because, well, you technically are getting something every time you do it. Like, you're not leaving empty-handed for the most part, and you have the option to not pay anything at all, which are pretty good points. And for most of these games, I'm not going to say all of them, but for most of them, the stuff you get out of these boxes is like non-essential stuff to the gameplay. It's pretty like unimportant to the like you can still play the game perfectly fine without this stuff. It's just like stuff that doesn't really affect the game in any way.
Pretty much just like costumes for the characters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Skins for your guns or weapons or anything. But
I think it was like the Belgium government that like kind of cracked down on it.
they went hardcore on
Yeah, and now EA was like
it. Sorry.
they're like under investigation in the Belgium government or something because they refused to take him out.
Oh.
So that's Oh my gosh.
So that's all you got for loot boxes, huh?
I mean, I could go on, but I think I'll just cut it off here.
All right. So Bethany, you got a topic we could talk about?
No. I have
No?
no.
Nothing? All right. So we'll go from Bethany to Andrew, and if there's nothing else, I'll throw something in. as
All
well.
right. So a conversation that I got into quite a bit with news and stuff was how people are like modding and hacking games nowadays.
Right.
And a lot of people, like, when it comes to hacking games, they usually do it for games that get you higher up on, like, the leaderboards and everything. I know, like, Overwatch, for example, it's a first-person team versus team style game where it's very competitive. And there are a lot of people from other countries. I know some people in the United States do it too, but they would hack the game to where they can have aimbot, which allows you to aim straight onto the character and kill them almost instantly, or adds a little bit more health to them and makes it harder for other players to kill them. But they would take this and put it into like tournaments and stuff, and actually cheat in tournaments. And
Right.
It
In tournaments that
abuses.
have cash prizes
Yes.
for, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And this is where it gets like really muddy, which kind of sucks.
yeah,
So for those of you that like might not be so like tech oriented, hacking, at least in a video game sense, refers to manipulating the game's code in order to give you some sort of advantage.
yes.
So in a game like Overwatch, where it's a team-based shooter, like Andrew said, you can give yourself more health. You can lock on to all your targets, different things like that, depending on what you do. As to how that's like carried out in tournament, I have no idea because obviously I'm not an esports player. I have no experience with that. So.
I'm not a tournament guy, but I think it's just interesting to either watch them sometimes because knowing their skills compared to mine, I'm like, how they do that,
Right, exactly.
But
If it's fair.
yes, if
Okay.
it's fair.
A good comparison is like hacking in a game like that would be close to taking steroids in an actual sport.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
the best. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Really
because it gives you a definite and defined advantage over the other team.
Yes.
And so yeah, is that your little spiel.
Yeah, mostly just like hackers in video games.
I
and
gotcha.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, I'll
Sometimes.
throw in that it doesn't necessarily even have to be a competitive game. There's people that hack like single player servers to do what's called griefing.
Yes.
And like, for example, if you've ever heard of Minecraft, you
Minecraft.
you create your own world or whatever. I don't play much Minecraft, but you create your own world, and people can send themselves into that and destroy whatever you created, just to, aggravate the people on the other end.
There's sea turtles now in Minecraft. by the
Didn't
way.
like- Didn't like Sweden or someone like make a full replica of the entire country in Minecraft, and then like the
and then
United
raided
States
it,
came
yeah.
in and like destroyed it all. And I'm
Yeah.
like, if there was ever a moment that like portrayed us as a country,
That's
I'd be
a
like,
that's a mind.
Moments like-
right.
moments like that makes me proud to be an American right there. That's,
Minecraft that makes you proud to be American.
yeah, like U.S. people coming in, destroying all those hours of work, and just being
And
like,
I think this was like a official like Swedish like endorsed project like by their educational
Oh, yeah.
system, right? They distributed it to high schoolers and had them like build architecture of their own
yeah,
country.
it was like a big thing. Like it was a pretty big deal.
Right.
And then we came in and destroyed it all.
All right, Bethany, you think of anything yet?
No.
All right,
It's all you, my
I
dude.
guess
Well,
I'll.
I can do another one about esports in her place.
I mean, go for it. I have something that I could add that's
All right.
like a little different, but if you want to,
all
I'm
right.
not gonna stop you.
So when we talked about Overwatch before, like the company that made that game has like a huge league that they started for like competitive stuff around that game, and it's like their own thing, and they try to do it. And then an 18-year-old who's like really, like he hadn't graduated. I think he was like actually like 17. I don't remember his age, and he tried to join. Like he tried to get in on that, and they wouldn't let him do it because he was too young. How do you guys feel about that? Like he was not graduated.
As far as like, what do you mean?
like he did not. He was
Instilling
not
an age
graduated.
limit to professionally play games, or like mandatory having an
like-
education in order to do so.
Well, both kind of like, because we're in like a new age kind of where most of these kids, like they grew up doing this stuff, like ever since they can
Mhm.
probably
Honestly,
remember.
though.
Like they've grown up playing games like this.
What is the E ESRB rating on Overwatch?
I think it's like T for teen.
Okay, so it would be legal for somebody of that age to purchase and own that game all
Absolutely,
by
yeah.
themselves.
But like my point is, esports and like getting money in esports is like pretty fickle as of, especially like now, because I think it's not like you get paid to play. It's like you get the money from the tournament,
Yeah.
and then that's it. Like that's your paycheck.
Right, it's not like an hourly wage.
No, it's not. It's not like you're a player. It's like you get the money from winning.
And
that's
you
it.
have to be, the best of the best to even have a small shot of winning the prize money at most of these tournaments.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
I-
a big commitment for like a lot of risk.
Yeah, and I think like just like dropping out of high school to do any kind of thing like that it's pretty dumb. I'm gonna say that it's pretty dumb
Oh,
Yeah,
to do that.
I'm in support of I think honestly, as esports continues to grow, there needs to be a governing body with an official rule set that covers the entirety of esports, such as the NCAA. There's rules as far as like academic eligibility in the NCAA, and it covers every sport that you can enlist in as far as college athletics. And I think a board like that will eventually become a requirement because as of right now, I believe like each esport league can create their own
Yeah,
rules.
and I guess like the argument against that. It's not really against that, but like esports isn't like it's not like basketball where it's been around like forever. It's constantly changing. Like there's new games that are coming out.
Right.
There's going to be like new games that are going to be like the esport to watch.
Right.
And I would say like right now, esports isn't like that. It's not like football where like it doesn't matter. You're watching football. It's like if you're getting into esports, there's like 18 different games probably.
Yeah.
Right. But as far as that governing body that I mentioned, it would just be very general guidelines. Like in order to be an esports, athlete, you have to have a high school diploma or like, stuff like that.
Get your GED.
Yeah.
Like for real.
To
Can only help you.
And yeah, to ensure education and wise decisions from their athletes.
Yeah. Because that's a huge thing for me. Is like, at some point you have to hold your athletes responsible, and like, well, not necessarily them, but you have to like. It's like, oh, I'm 12 and I'm in competitive Overwatch League. It's like you kind of gotta like. I know that like anyone can buy this game, but like still, you don't want like a 12-year-old out of school risking it all to play Overwatch and having a very real possibility of losing everything.
Yeah, the only time it would be a good idea is like if he actually made profit for playing every single time he played.
Yeah.
Then it's like that's just a full-time job of playing video games. You might as well stick with it. You're successful in your own way right there.
Yeah.
But this is, like you said, tournament-wise, where you only get paid if you win the tournament. I think, is there a second cash prize or a third cash prize, or is it just first?
I think there's probably like a second or third, but like...
And there is a possibility for sponsorships, but
That is
again,
true.
you have to be, top of your game to...
Well,
you're
known.
it's
to
like
be
you're the
eligible.
top 1% of the 1%.
Right.
Like, you're that good.
And like this 17-year-old who, of course, wanted to, go into tournaments and stuff like that. Well, of course, he would still be in high school and everything. And I guess Blizzard, the creators of Overwatch, they would have to deal with, his parents as well because he's not a guard or he's not an legal adult yet. So they have to deal with that problem too.
And I think it was like in South Korea, but I don't think it would matter because I think Blizzard is based here in the U.S., so they can pretty much do whatever they want, I guess. But they didn't let him play, I don't think, so good job. Don't let young people play. Get your GED. That's basically just And did you want to throw in one more?
I mean, I might as well. The one thing that I wanted to talk about was Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah, Waluigi, come on.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me preface this. The man over there, I know you can't see me pointing, but Wyatt is like the biggest fan of Super Smash Brothers you would probably ever meet in your life.
Okay.
Honestly, though.
So, if I'm being like 100% totally honest, it was one of the games that got me into like a community aspect of games. Back when Melee came out on the GameCube, I actually played that at my babysitter's house, and it was one of the first experiences I ever had with, more than one or two people around a couch playing some games, and from then on, I really followed the series, different things like that. And so it really hooked me early on, and I just went off from there. And been a huge fan of every game in the series so far. And there was a new one announced several months ago called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this game entails literally every aspect of the previous iterations of the 4 other games in the series and combines it into one cohesive package. So it has all the characters from all the games, all the stages from all the games, and a ton of music, different things like that. And I'm just really excited for it in general. There's been a whole bunch of leaks that would come out about potential characters on the roster, different things like that. Whether you want to put any stake in them whatsoever, it's entirely up to you.
They're all fake.
but
And they're all real.
the game is scheduled to release on December 7th. Also, just to kind of wrap things up here, I'd like to put in a plug for BHSU Buzz Arcade, which meets every Wednesday at 7. And basically, a bunch of nerds get together and do nerdy things. We hang out and play video games,
We
and
play Mario Party.
Sell out.
we do
Yeah.
play Mario
We
Party.
do have Mario Party there.
So
If you're just itching to play Mario Party,
If you want to
boy.
lose by Michael,
What? I never win. What are you talking about?
shut up, man.
but
If you want to be a loser like me, come on. Stop.
Did
But-
you get like second last time?
I did get second. Thanks for Michael for coaching me to get second.
And that's
I got 3 stars.
I'd like to say I am offering Mario Party coaching sponsorships as of tomorrow. So if you really want to get into the Mario Party esports scene, I'll be your coach for $8 million.
the Mario Party esports scene. We'll
I'm
get to
sure it exists.
we'll
somewhere.
get to work on that.
I guarantee you it exists somewhere.
He's gonna
Okay.
give you anxiety.
Honestly,
But-
though,
But the reason why I
big
put
anxiety.
I put a plug in for BH History Buzz Arcade is it's a great place for people around campus to just come once a week and not really have to worry about essays, assignments, things that make college life a little bit stressful. And, you could come to our meetings, meet with a bunch of friends, and just have a good time for a couple hours every week and enjoy stuff like this that we talked about for the last 40 minutes or so. Also, we are in unofficial talks of getting like an esports branch built into this club. And so depending on where that goes from there, just stay tuned for updates, and I'd like to see you at
Yeah.
the meetings.
If you can get people together, we can probably put something together.
Mhm.
But it's not a thing right now.
Right.
But it might be.
So unofficially, in theory,
Like we're saying, you didn't hear this from us,
Right.
But
right. But unofficially, if you'd like to have some sort of team or club around campus, say centered around Rocket League, and you came to myself or any of the other officers on campus and pitched the idea, we'd do the best we can to make it happen. For example, I will for sure have a Super Smash Brothers team going if we get the groundwork laid for that. And this is still in the very early planning stages, but we hope to have exhibition games against like School of Mines and like local colleges for different games. So, yeah, if that's something you're into, please stop by the meeting. But that's all the time we have. So, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of my wonderful friends for coming down and being nerds in a small room with some microphones and just hanging out. So I hope we succeeded in our mission to entertain and inform. Once again, I'm Wyatt Bills, and these are my friends.
Yeah.
deuces.
And I will see you later. Thank you.